Hello, I am Coach Coleman here on Better Youth Solutions, and I would like for you to introduce yourself and tell us a bit more about what you do.
Hi, everyone. I am Kristina Heagh-Avritt, and I am co-founder of Vibrant Family Education. And the reason I am co-founder of Vibrant Family Education is because I started it with my husband, and I was a teacher of 27 years, and I've left the teaching field to try to help parents become more in tune with their child and their education, and then also to help them get through that change if they want to change into a different kind of education for their child. So Vibrant Family is all about family and education.
I love it. Especially about family and bringing those family dynamics together, to work in one setting. It's not like the old days, how families used to sit down for dinner together. So I love that you implement that. How long have you been doing this?
Well, like I said, I was a teacher for 27 years, and I've been running Vibrant Family for a little over a year now.
A little over here. Okay. So
Yeah.
you're very well educated in the field and working with families. And have you only taught in like one grade level, or have you been all over since it's been a few years? Have you found like
Exactly.
which grade is your baby, is your go-to?
Thanks. Yeah, actually, I in my career, I have taught kindergarten through fifth grade, but then throughout my lifetime, through religious education and dance classes and things like that, I've actually worked with people from kindergarten through the age of 88. So I have
Oh,
worked with a whole gamut of people and ages and dynamics.
yeah.
But when I was teaching, my I loved working with those 8, 9, 10-year-olds.
That's great to hear. I was a teacher for about 3 years.
Uh-huh.
A few years ago, for 3 years, in a high school setting, and then I was a therapist in a middle school setting. So I know what it means to work on those different dynamics, those different levels as a teacher in that school
Mm-hmm.
setting. So thank you for that. And that is that what brought you to recognize the working more with the family dynamics?
Partially, yeah. The last 2 years that I was in the public school system, I actually got transferred to the online school for the school district. Even though it was during the COVID time, it was a school that was set up for kids all the time, and that school is still in existence and still runs. And when I was there, I was asked to implement the kindergarten through second grade program. So think about kindergartners through second graders learning to learn online all the time. Now,
Right.
this school was for our medically fragile and for our behaviorally challenged kids, and then also those kids who were like in athletics, so that they would travel a whole bunch and a regular school classroom just wasn't going to be functioning for them. So having that experience of working with the parents to help their child learn at home through the online dynamics really spurred me into thinking, some of our parents, especially since everything happened with the pandemic, want something a little bit different, and they want to be coached to be able to educate their own children. So it's like now is the time to do that. It's time to go out and really help and support those parents.
And that's great, especially for those parents who are looking for that extra support.
Yeah.
And not just from anyone, from someone who has been in the field for a long time in different areas. As you said, you work from kindergarten to 80-year-olds. So there's
Yeah.
the kinship of the grandparents who are raising the children
Yeah.
versus the mother and father who is raising the children. I'm pretty sure you've seen it all.
I
So
am.
anyone would be a great audience or someone to work with for you, I
Yeah.
assume.
Exactly. Yes. And I'm really, interested in those families who are ready to make a change for their children in that education. So it could be a grandparent, it could be a parent, guardian. Sometimes even now they still have times where they have like a learning coach, which is maybe like a daycare provider or a nanny or somebody like that who is working with the education with the children when their parents aren't able to be with the children. But yeah, those are the people who I really want to get in touch with, because we know that unfortunately our education system right now isn't helping all of our kids. Some of our kids, it's just not a good fit. And so there are parents, there are grandparents, there are people who are like, if I had the right support, if I had the right person to ask the questions when I'm uncertain of, then I would be able to pull my child out of the public education and bring them home. I like to call it education at home instead of homeschool, and really give the child what they need. Maybe it's a quieter place to work. Maybe it's a more one-on-one kind of teaching that they need, all of those kinds of things. And parents are able to do it, and they're just a little unsure sometimes.
Right, right. I agree. I agree. And sometimes they hear of things, but they like you said, they don't know what it means. And sometimes we just, as humans, we find ourselves timid to ask questions.
Yeah.
And help. But if they already have you on board, it'll make it more comfortable for them to ask you those simple questions. And not feel judged because they're already comfortable with you. So it would be great to have you a part of the team.
Exactly.
I love it. And if anyone wanted to seek help from you or work with you, how would they locate you? What's your website or phone number or email?
Excellent. Yeah. So Vibrant Family Education is our website. So vibrantfamilyeducation.com. But I am on Facebook and Instagram all the time. My DMs are open. I'm a real person. I really care about my families and the children that I work with. So you can just even find me on Facebook at Kristina Heagh-Avritt, or on Instagram, K Heagh-Avritt, and you can send me a message and then we'll get connected from there. Because like I said, my main goal is to help our children, help our families. We want them growing up happy, healthy, and successful. And everybody knows that, you know, if you have a coach, sometimes that is a little bit easier to get past those rough spots. So our business people have coaches, right? Our entrepreneurs have coaches. We have physical coaches for training for health and nutrition. So why isn't it okay to have a coach to help raise our kids? Everybody needs a little bit of help sometimes.
I know that's right. And I support it 100%. It does. You made a very, very good point, a vital point, that it wouldn't hurt to have an extra coach. Everyone has some type of coach in their life. Even as children, have a football coach, basketball coach.
Exactly, right?
You have coaches in your life as a kid growing up, if you're into those, or a guidance counselor. You have someone in your life start to implement it. And as adults, wouldn't you want a coach in your life and then that extra support for your kids as well? So I love that scenario that you created.
Thank you. Yeah. And it's just so, like I said, just so very, very vital. Like you said, it's so important. You know, children are our most precious, I hate to say it, but commodity, right? They're our future. They're what is going to keep us moving on as a society. And one of the things I've been finding is that, you know, the kids have been dealing with so many different things from COVID, from the pandemic, from parents. And a lot of us are saying, well, you know what, we're dealing with trauma all the time, or we're dealing with big changes and big emotions that we don't really know how to handle. Well, instead of having to unwind it when you're an adult, what if we go back and make it less, or stop it when our kids are young? Let's get them to the adulthood before those traumas and before those really big challenges hit that they don't know how to handle.
Right. I agree 100%. And one more time before you go, how will they get with you?
Please reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram at Kristina Heagh-Avritt or K Heagh-Avritt. Yeah.
All right.